Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Keyur Shah, Manager Sales Engineering from Sophos, to please join us on the stage. Hi. Keyur, please, ladies and gentlemen, please always welcome your speaker with a good round of cheer. Over to you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope people are not hungry. I'm sorry. I'm in the middle of the lunchtime. So, all right. So, let's start. Okay. The first and foremost question, because I always wanted to address the problems and what we have as a solution, right? So, every organization is struggling today to protect something. What? Any idea? Data. Absolutely, you're right. Correct. Now, every organization has data is a gold, right? Because that's what the people are, customer data, their research data, they're all data, they are just struggling to protect them. And that's where we need to have a solution which can help out to protect the data, and it will not allow attackers to go and steal the data or corrupt the data, which can hamper the organization's, you can say reputation. It can again get the monetary benefits. Okay. Now, second. Okay. What's that? Oh. Okay. Perfect. So let me just start the first question. How many of you guys are ready when you got a call at midnight, 2 o'clock? Okay, that there is a ransomware attack in your organization? What's your response plan? Anyone would like to share? Yeah, please. Yeah, please get the mic, please.
The first thing to do is to isolate.
So you need to first of all wake up, right? Correct? Because it's a midnight and you're sleeping, right? Second question, okay? How many of you are aware that your infrastructure is ready to, respond to any of the zero-day threats? Are you aware of that? So are your infrastructure is ready to, protect against the zero-day threat? Let me just rephrase this question. How many of you are using the WinRAR in your infrastructure? Your user, I'm not saying you, but WinRAR. You can just, raise your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, there are many, right? How many of you know that WinRAR is one of the application which has been used to deploy the malware since April 2023? Anybody? Yeah, 1, 2. How do you protect that? You don't know, right? Okay. Let me ask you another question. So you come to know that these are the problems, right? Now, somebody will come to you and say that, okay, we provide you cybersecurity. Let's replace all the solutions. Are you ready for that? Will you be able to remove your investment immediately just to get some security? No, it's like you already invested the money, right? Why do you want to replace it? You want something to be complementary, something to be add-on, and something to be protecting you, right? Okay. How many of your vendors give you an assurance that if there is an attack or if there is an incident, we'll give you an insurance, we will pay for your damage? Anybody? No. Okay. I just wanted to ask you a question from this forum. How many of you have a dedicated security team in your organization who can work on a 24/7? Yeah? 1, 2, 3, 4. So I would say 5%. Overall 5%, right? That's a challenge. Okay? So what is the challenge here? This is the cybersecurity challenge which all organizations are facing, right? The attackers are, it's like, earlier decades, if you'll see, the attackers are very, just doing the outbreak. They were just trying to infect in mass machines, but now, today, attackers are very specific, categorically attacking to a particular organization, right? And that's where they wanted to achieve something. Either the monetary benefit, either the data, either they wanted to steal the data, either they want to defame the organization, right? That's what the basic achievement. So if you see the statistics here, okay, 57% of the organizations confirms that they face this increase in attack now every day, okay? And there are 78% plus organizations have been, confirmed that they've been hit by the ransomware. Now, I would ask you a second question. How many of you are using email security, endpoint security, firewall, all together, different? Most of the time. So you have a different consoles, right? Email security has a console. Firewall has another console. Your endpoint has a different console. Now, whenever you sit down, because, ask the team or just, discuss with the team how many hours you're spending to sit down and see the console. And then how many hours you take to correlate that particular alerts and logs. Because, the attackers, for example, how do they do the attack? They will send you the phishing email. Okay? Phishing email will have a malicious URL, right? Their user will click on the URL. They will download something, some payload. Okay? Then this payload will be getting executed in the machine, will get to connect to the command and control center. From there, it will download the ransomware, and that's where, the attack will happen. Now, imagine which all product you need to look after. First, email security. From where you need to see from where the email came in. Did your email security has identified the phishing URL? No. Or maybe yes. Second, in your endpoint, when you click on this, okay, did your endpoint has identified that malicious, payload? No. Or yes, maybe. Then your firewall. So now the person who sits down there needs to correlate all the logs. Sorry. And that's where the challenge starts. Okay. Third, which is more important, and most of the organizations are facing this, is about the skill set. For example, we deployed a security team, but we need to identify, or we need to hire a people who knows about the security, who can understand it, who can do the response back. So imagine, I'll give you a very simple example. If you want to set up your own SOC, how much cost you will spend? If you wanted to run a SOC, you need a minimum of 8 to 10 people, because you are going to run 24/7 operations, right? 365 days, including the holidays and shifts. So approximately, you will not end up at $60,000 or $80,000 per person. Plus, you are going to buy a SOAR platform, you're going to buy SIEM platform, you're going to buy another data center infrastructure. So it will never cost you less than $100,000 to $1 million for the basic SOC, right? So what is the solution? Anybody wants to give me an idea? What is the solution? If these are the challenges, what is the solution? Combine everything in a one place, absolutely, and then you can outsource. Yeah. So the best solution is that instead of, because if you want, even if you want your own SOC, okay, it will take time, it will take money, okay. Instead of that, you should outsource your security operations, or you should, give this cybersecurity as a services, so that your data, it will be like, first of all, instant creation of that. Your data will be protected, monitored, and in case of any threat incident, it will be respond back. So the idea is that, first of all, you need to have a team who is capable enough to understand the threat incident, okay, and they should be able to monitor your 24/7 operations. Second, they should not be believing only on alerts which is coming from the products. If you talk about the current SOC, what they do? They deploy their SIM, okay? They deploy the other product, they get the alerts from the product, and when the product gives you an alert, then and then they will act. Is this okay? What if that product misses the particular incident? What if the product is not able to detect any of the malicious activity? That means you are not going to do anything, right? So when you talk about the cybersecurity as a services, when you're offloading your cybersecurity as a services, these people should be capable enough to do lead less threat hunting also. When you say lead less means that there is no alert, but still I am doing threat hunting to identify the malicious activity, right? And that's where you need to have an effective SOC operations. Similarly, they should be able to do the full-scale incident. When I say full-scale incident means they should be able to identify the source of infection, they should provide you the root cause analysis, and they should be able to clean up your entire network and machines, right? That is what the full-scale incident you should have, okay? And what is the benefit you can get it? So when you have the cybersecurity as a services, okay, you can first of all offload your task from your IT team, okay? So their IT team will be proactive, Okay. Secondly, these people are expert enough to understand the latest zero-day threats, and they can do the response better than what you have the limited set of team. Right? So you have the 85 to 90% of the less risk compared to what you have your own team or you have your own IT team can be catered. And the most important part for every organization is that you are reducing your cost more than 5x to 10x when you are doing setting up a SOC by yourself instead of you are outsourcing your security operations and to the other people. And that's where Sophos will come into the picture. Sophos is the company established in 1985 as an antivirus company initially. And now we provide you a complete end-to-end security solutions, starting from your endpoint to firewall to data encryption to email security. And this beauty of this is this all products talks to each other. Now this is again very important. Why do you require this product needs to be shared threat intel with each other? I'll give you a very simple example, very layman example. We are sitting over here, okay? There is a guard outside just after this door, okay? And there is one guard who is in the parking who makes the people to park the car. Imagine there is a fire incident over here, okay? What will happen? And these two guards are not talking to each other. So if there is a fire incident, okay, we will start running out, right? But this guard is not able to talk to the guard on the parking area. The parking area guard will ask people to park the car and go up, right? And that's where the exact situation is happening in our current network scenarios. You have X firewall, you have Y endpoint, you have Z email security, and they three don't talk to each other. Because they are not talking to each other, if there is an incident, okay, the other two will remain as it is, acting as it is. Okay, so that's the beauty with Sophos. Our Sophos solution talks to each other. So for example, your endpoint got in malicious content, it will immediately inform to the firewall, to the email, to the access point, to the switches, saying that this machine is infected, do not allow any further connections. So now again, this firewall will also inform the rest of the machine that this machine is infected, do not connect back. So this is how the isolation will be done with the Sophos products itself, okay? And the lateral movement of the attacker will be blocked, right? Okay, going back, so what do we have as in Sophos? We also have launched the services called Sophos MDR, so Managed Detection and Response Services. Since Sophos having a great way of connecting to the solution, they have great data, we provide 24/7 monitoring, detection and response to our customers. Okay, and now we are not just limited to only Sophos products. We are basically can integrate with any of the third party. So for example, your network has Fortinet firewall, Sophos endpoint, okay, email security is Mimecast, and you want your cybersecurity services to be outsourced to Sophos. Sophos can actually do that because we are vendor agnostics. We do not just say that only Sophos products can be managed. We say any of your infrastructure is there, doesn't matter. We will take care of your operations, security operations. Okay, so that's where the Sophos will give you a flexibility to keep your all infrastructure as it is without any change. Still, you will get the better protection. The best part, which you ask you the question, is your vendor confirms that if there is a damage, they will pay? Sophos say yes. We do give you a $1 million warranty. So in case of if you are a Sophos MDR customer, and if there is an incident happens, okay, Sophos will reassure you that, okay, no problem, we will take the damage on us. Okay, so that's the confidence what we have in Sophos, that any point of time, if you are being monitored by Sophos MDR services, you are least been protected, or you are least been attacked from the attackers. So that's where, if you talk about the third-party analysts, okay, if you go to the Gartner peer rating, if you go to the G2 quadrant, Sophos leads on a top, especially for Sophos MDR services. Okay, and then these are our set of customers, which is Fortune 500 companies. Out of them, there are many of them are Sophos customers. Okay, so that's it from my side. Any questions? Sorry? It's a service. So basically, a very good question. So Sophos has a product, okay, endpoint product, firewall product, and MDR is a services. So you can buy services from the Sophos, or the products also from the Sophos, or you can have a both, okay.
We can have our own.
Yes, you can. So for example, you have your infrastructure already ready, but you want that, okay, let people who are expert enough to monitor my network, okay, then Sophos MDR services can help you out in monitoring and managing and doing the threat containment, threat investigation, okay, all these operations, security operations for your network, okay.